There's a few notable patterns when it comes to the migration process that many organizations go through. The first one here is opportunity evaluation. And this is a case in where you are presented with some event that provides a great opportunity. It might be that you're doing a global expansion and you need to go to a certain geography. One of the cloud vendors already has a data center there, has cloud technology that you've wanted to try anyway. And so this might be a good opportunity. You might also be thinking about developer productivity. There's a great deal of resources that your developers would not need to build or would not need to maintain, or that you could offload onto a managed service in the cloud. That might be another opportunity. And perhaps a more tangible one is your data center lease is expiring, and wouldn't it be great to move it onto someone who has shown great savings and great support? And so there's a number of motivations that might justify that opportunity. And I'm going to mention here a sample business case of the type of justification that you might be able to do. This is for a large corporation that had 2,000 developers and were able to manage, or were able to achieve 50% more productivity. You can see there that it's due to services that they no longer needed to build, and also just savings when it came to time. Now you can translate that, as you can see here in this case, to 1,000 years of developer productivity, and you can imagine how many more projects you could pursue, how many more explorations you could do. So this is certainly something that would be attractive, and it's a type of use cases that you can easily uncover, and we'll make some references to many of them. Another one would be, once you've identified that opportunity, would be the discovery and planning of the migration. You need to go through all of your applications. You need to determine how much modifications need to take place. From all that you discover, you need to prioritize what is it that's going to give you those bigger wins. Again, it's all about having that progression of increased trust, of your organization starting to think in terms of more agile and more speedy technology. And the other recommendation as well would be to start with low complexity. You want to tackle projects that can give you wins, that can show the potential, and you do not want to engage in something that will get you fired and that is very high risk. The other thing as well is you need to design, you need to migrate, and you need to validate. There are some applications that you can just truly move over and they will continue to operate. There are some that are very hairy and you will not be able to move perhaps for years. And so you want to determine how much more you need to change. You need to determine, as on the previous slide, prioritize what makes more sense. And so in general, for every application you're considering, you need to look at the design, the migration, and the validation. And the migration strategies that are listed there are some that we'll come back to, but they have to do with rehosting, replatforms, repurchasing, and is from a very simple lift and shift where you just carry your server over, all the way to re-envisioning your applications in terms of cloud native technologies. As mentioned before, you do not want to take too much risk. You want to operate very much in the spirit of the web, which is small pieces loosely joined. You want to build on those wins, and you want to gain the trust of your corporation, of your leadership, and based on that, continue to be more aggressive. The other thing as well is, as you're going through this migration, identify patterns that are common pain points for your business units. And here is where a central IT function can provide value. Oftentimes, you do not want to force people into these services, but you want to make it attractive to them. And you want to remove some of their pain. And this will go a long way towards getting traction. You're perceived as someone who's adding value. And this is also a great place for your Cloud Center of Excellence to provide support, to be involved, to participate in this process. And the last one is to operate. Once you migrate, once you start off with the opportunity, you identify what you need to move, you make the changes that you're going to make, you validate your applications, and then the last step is to operate. If you are successful in this migration, without a doubt, your people, processes, and technologies would have gained a great deal of understanding. You can think about the process agility and speed. When it comes to cloud technology, simply provisioning and the speed that would be involved with that is a great gain. The knowledge that your business units, that your cloud center of excellence is acquiring is something that will be very valuable. And there will be more technology options. Once you are there, once you're in that ecosystem, it's much easier to reach over and use something like natural language processing, to reach over and use something such as image recognition, to reach over and try new storage technologies. And so this makes your organization more agile. It is not an easy thing to do, but it's a very worthwhile thing to do. And so in closing, let me mention that these are some of the patterns that we see with migrations, and there are some that might help you as you think through this process. Think of it as a mental model that can check against the things that you're doing.